So yeah, so with all your usual bits and bobs, if you do want a blanket or anything extra, just on the way through, just let me know and I'll grab it. But in terms of tonight, in theory, it's opening up the heart chakra. So in terms of areas, this will hopefully work really well for around that sort of area. But with that, if you imagine you're opening everything through here, it's also opening the front of the hips, it's opening the side body, it's opening that rotation. So all of the movements, you can pick how far you go with them, obviously based on what your body's feeling, but use the props as much as possible so that you get yourself into that point of stretch. If we put the number on it again, maybe around about that 7 out of 10 is a maximum sort of sensation. So that should feel hopefully like a good challenge. But if you need to water it down on a level, then yeah, you can take it a 4 or a 5, whatever you need to, based on what you're feeling. And yes, as much as you're encouraged to be still in your positions, if you feel like it just doesn't feel right and you need to move, then you move and you adapt to whether you need to lessen, because some of them will grow in sensation, you know, and some of them will get easier over time. So it depends, but use as many things as possible to support you so you can literally just deflate into the position, okay? So nothing's about holding anything in place. So in terms of that, we're going to start with a little bit of mindful eating. So yes, I have a chocolate, and I would like you to take one and pass it along. And you can pick whatever you fancy, but I don't want you to eat it just yet. So in terms of being mindful whenever you're eating, I know what I'm like when it comes to some things together, it's in and it's gone. So sometimes you don't take time to actually savor it. And it's a bit like everything in life. Sometimes you're just rushing through everything that you miss the detail. And sometimes it's what makes you slow down and be in the present moment. So from that point of view, whatever you have picked, and if you feel like, no, I don't want one of those with gingerbread biscuits, if you'd rather one of those. Oh, you're okay.
Not say no.
We're not. Well, in order for it to work, you're going to savor it. Yeah. So, in terms of so in terms of like what I want you to go through as a process, it's feeling, it's using all of your senses. So yes, you can see it, and it's almost like just taking that moment to have a look at it. Because you know you'll have had one of these before, I'm sure. So in your mind already, there's a preconceived idea about what's coming, okay? So from that perspective, like already my mind's full. But it's that thing of like, as you look at the wrapper and you pay attention to the detail, like even taking that sort of sense of like gratitude that somebody, or okay, some machine probably, but has taken the time to make this. There's that attention to detail, the labeling, all of those little things that you would probably never stop to think about. But there's been somebody has created this design, and somebody has maybe checked it over to make sure that it is what it is and what's the level it's supposed to be. But in your mind, that preconceived idea, it is noticing whether has there been a response. Has your body maybe started to salivate as a result of that? Well, maybe it hasn't. But then if you allow just a little bit of a smell, so if we're kind of tapping into all senses, maybe you can't smell it through the wrapper yet, but maybe you can smell something off the wrapper. Depends how good your nose is at the minute. But then if you allow that little hole just to start to bring it open. And again, maybe just keeping it in the wrapper, just so you hopefully don't get on top of you. But I want you again just to take that little moment. You can have a look at it, maybe look at the design on it, just to get a sense of, again, what's coming. And then, again, have a smell. Getting a sense of whether, again, is there anything else happening inside your body, your senses, and judgments about what smell is like. And the building a little bit of suspense possibly as well, so that you can already imagine what the taste of it's going to be like. But if you can get that sense of the smell of it, and then again, it is like we're drawing this, we're taking a period of time, maybe you just touch it to the lips. And get a sense of what the temperature of it's like. But then maybe take a look. And again, it's just giving you a little bit more information, taking your time just to take that in. And also, again, if it's starting to create another reaction in the body or different thoughts. But if you feel that you've taken that in, your senses have started to absorb that so far, well, then I would ask you to put it in your mouth, but don't chew it yet. If you imagine, once you've got it there, it's going to start to melt in your mouth. And you start to notice maybe different flavors. Because sometimes when you eat something, yeah, you don't maybe take the time to chew or whatever, but and you start to notice that the mouth is salivating a bit more now. And you're noticing, you know what's in that type of sweet that you've taken. Are you noticing all of the different flavors? And maybe different textures. And maybe, is there that temptation? And I just want to bite mine. But then allow yourself to take a bite into it. And again, what tastes going through that? Does it change the body's reactions or thoughts? And is there any flavors coming out that you maybe haven't noticed before, maybe you haven't eaten something that slow? And does your body feel that? Does it like the breakdown? Does it like the flavors and the textures that are coming through? And depending on how far on your journey you are with that sweet, if you feel like you have almost finished it, what else do you notice going on inside your mouth? Again, is there an aftertaste? And noticing again that the salivation, has that continued? Has it slowed down? Something started to gurgle. No. But it gives you an idea that if you slow the process down, you get more information back about how your body responds. And that's kind of where we're going with the poses. So, because again, I might say new to you, you know the pose, you start to make a prejudgment of what that is. But go with it, because today could be a different day in terms of how your body feels. So it's just giving it that time to settle in, to explore what you feel. Okay, you're not necessarily going to taste anything, but all the different sensations and the contact of the equipment, how your clothes feel on your body, how the position feels in the body, how it's going to change. And then when we come into those rebounds, those couple of minutes after we take a pose, to explore the aftertaste of what happens in your body. And you'll get a sense of whether that felt good or not. Hopefully all will feel good. So we're going to take you, was that nice? Did you get different flavors coming through, or?
The red one slowly in the night.
No, I don't.
And I looked at it and I thought, like,
Yes.
I have on my throat.
Well, can you
That's
try?
why I was coughing.
Do you need to be done?
No, I'm okay now.
Did you notice something
Yeah.
different?
Yeah.
Different texture. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, the wrapper, the noise of the wrapper and stuff was quite like it felt too much.
Ah,
I think
okay.
that really added to the whole gonna sweet sort of feeling. It was
Yeah.
a bit
Oh, I love
added, yeah.
Okay, very good, yeah. Did you like the sweet? Just not.
No, I took the wee nibble of it.
Okay.
But I imagine mine was a wee mature cheese. Mature cheese.
And then the salivation starts, okay.
No, of course.
So I'd love to say that in terms of cheese and things like that, I'm not very good with all that because I don't eat cheese, but yeah, maybe next time. So yeah, so hopefully that process, I want you to kind of almost like absorb that so that as we delve into the poses, that you're going to give yourself that time to explore all of the information that's coming through in your body. But again, try not to make those prejudgments about a position because, okay, it might be the same as what you've done before, but it might feel very different and you're going to explore with what that is for now. So in terms of our first position, we're going to bring you into just hopefully a fairly relaxed butterfly, but we're going to use the blocks. So, and if it feels uncomfortable with the blocks, then we can use pillows, we can get extra pillows as well. So with the blocks, we want to place one of them. So if you imagine it's going to go on your back, around about that level. So lower shoulder blades, what way did it go? Yeah, one on the side and right one. I'm sorry. So you'll have one underneath you at that area. So it's kind of lower shoulder blades, back of ribs. And then the other one, again, you can either use a pillow or you can use the block and you can kind of choose what height feels better. So if we're thinking about opening up the heart space, we're trying to allow all of this to flare open. And that can include the throat. But if that doesn't feel comfortable, so if that doesn't feel good, then just allow the head to be propped to take the throat opener out of it. Okay. And once you get into position, the legs are bent, and we're going to bring the feet into butterfly. Okay, so you might need to go higher there, Jen. Okay, so a little bit here. As in not higher on the block, but just further away from your hips, yeah.
oh yeah.
So the prominent ribs should feel like they're being pressed up towards the ceiling. And in any of these positions, if it feels good to have your body with the blanket over it, if you feel like you want that little bit of extra support, then you can have that. I might work in there. Well, draw yourselves into that comfortable space, and if you do feel like you need whether more support on the legs to help press them open. So this is a more relaxed position, but in this position, I want you to get a sense of that number. So that's 7 out of 10. This is a more gentle position, but if you want to add a layer into it, notice how that feels, then a bolster between the knees or possibly sandbags onto the legs. But this is an opener, so you can decide what level feels appropriate for you here. To allow whether it feels more comfortable to have the eyes closed or open with this choice. Moving how the body feels here. And again, you've maybe done this position before on numerous occasions. Can you allow that sense of exploration to discover how this feels in your body just at this moment in time? Your body that time to explore, to be curious about these positions and what it conjures up in your body and what you're going to feel. Zoom in again on those sensations, that awareness that you have. Does it feel like it's a muscular stretch? Does it feel like the joints are restricted, or do you feel like you're able to relax into this? Maybe the more that you rest there, can you notice body able to relax into this position? And able to melt the body around your blocks. And be able to gain that awareness that the heart space from the collarbones to the chest bone, down through to the belly button. Does it feel open? Through a lot of our poses tonight, your focus is on that space in the body. Heart chakra is your center for love for oneself and also for others, for compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. The heart chakra is associated with unconditional love, compassion, and joy. And it is the connection from your center to all other chakras and energy channels in your body. Associated with the air element, which is within us and all around us. We can embody this element by keeping our heart center open. The love that we can offer free flowing. And this chakra helps us to recollect back to ourselves. Truly be able to love and accept ourselves, our bodies, our choices. Adjustment on this position, if it feels comfortable to take the arms towards an eye surrender position. And allowing the arms just to reach out a little bit to the sides, maybe the forearms to pull back. To allow that further opening across the chest. And if those arms, that's it. If they're holding backwards, to further open the chest, the shoulders. Draw on an affirmation. This is for joy and for optimism. This you can say into yourself quietly or however loud you feel that voice inside needs to be. I have a positive mindset. Good things are coming. I have a positive mindset. Good things are coming. I have a positive mindset. Good things are coming. Just to draw the arms down by your side, and if you need to use your hands to assist to draw the legs in closer together, remove any movements. But to come into your shavasana, your rest pose, so maybe the roll sideways or wherever to dismount from your blocks. And to let your body ground into the mat. So if you want to use pillows, support, anything you can. So let the body find the support from your mat. Notice how your body feels as you come out from that pose. What's the aftertaste? maybe even reflecting that the longer you were in that pose, did you notice changes happening? And sensations in the body? So, starting to allow the body to move into a comfortable seat. And we're going to start to bring you into your next pose. You might need more blocks for this one. Finding what height that you're going to need. The possible suggestion might be somewhere like that. So this is puppy position, but the arms coming up and over to draw into your triceps. So the width wants to be comfortable with. If you're up here with the hands, that you're going to find that they have that space to be on, so not too narrow, not too wide. But I'm going to take it so that my hips are over my knees, my elbows are going down onto the blocks. And then I'm going to lean back with my hips and bring the hands onto my shoulders, wherever on the back. Wherever you're able to open to, you know, just have to kind of wiggle about to figure out, can I allow the armpits to open? And if your head reaches the floor, right? If it reaches it too easy, well then you need more blocks. If it feels like you are nowhere near the floor, then this is where you could pop maybe, you know, it might be even a sandbag underneath, something where, whether it's another blanket, that's going to help you to support the head, that it's not just hanging as such. So if you need anything else, the target area with this is the triceps and the back of the arms. The underarms, so that's coming down through the sides of the body. And possibly, if the back is being allowed to drop into a little bit of extension, then feel this opening up the joints in your back. And it's feeling that you have that space, almost like your hips are drawing you back a little, so it's almost tractioning you out of the sockets. And test. Reflecting on the number, the sensation, the level of this as a stretch on the body. You know, like I'm offering myself the challenge that I feel is appropriate for my body and for my mindset. Positive mindset. Good things are sense as we're in a pose, the challenge that you've set yourself, knowing that if the challenge feels too much, you can always back off. But if it feels like you're settling in, can you deepen it? Can you allow the ribs to melt towards the floor? That sense that the hips are leading you back, the shoulders are opening. How does this taste in your body? Your weight to rise up, to unload the elbows. And we'll take you into your rebind. And your rebind might be lying on your tummy, it might be lying on your back. Whichever position feels like the body would like to go into. And that awareness of how that sensation felt in your body to now exploring that aftertaste. Body. Sensations or feelings almost of texture changes. Just noticing in your body. You've now settled into your rest pose. And anything different that is conjured up in that previous pose. I'm going to draw you up to come into that next pose. This one again has a name that might conjure up something of maybe Weight Watcher. Don't prejudge. So it's the broken wing, but we're going to do it with a simple twist. Okay. So basically that I surrender position that we've already partially opened, we're just going to add in a little bit more, I'm not going to say intensity, because you can choose again how far you go with it. But you're going to bring yourself into a position where you might be lying down initially to place that arm open out to the side, so you're creating space. I don't want you to be elbow higher than the shoulder because that will put strain onto the shoulder, so it's a little bit out of level or slightly lower. And then from here, can I bring myself onto my side? I can draw the knees up. So I might need a pillow if that feels like that's too low for my head. And I might feel like I want to pop something maybe onto my hips if that helps me be more secure. But I can just rest here. If there was a choice in this position that felt too easy, the next position would be to try to allow one leg to drop. I have no mission. It just won't work that way for me. But maybe for you, it's lengthening away. Maybe it's taking the foot onto the mat. My shoulders. So it's a case of finding if that feels like it's an easy place for you to be in. you have an option of maybe either extending or prolonging it up. So maybe starting with that right arm open out to the side and then rolling yourself towards the left and bending the knees up like you're sitting in your chair. So as we find our way in, so you can feel the stretch. So it's keeping that open, and as the knees drop towards you, remember that you're almost rotating the upper body to bring, it might be one shoulder on top of the other, depending on how far that shoulder lets you open. You might be nowhere near that. But again, you're trying to find that level of stretch that feels like it's up to that number challenge where you want to be. Let's keep this. To bring that twist back. Yes, it's going and you can. And in terms of sensation, knowing that the more one shoulder brings itself on top of the other, the more you will increase that stretch. So listening to your body, what does the flavor of this pose tell you about your body? Very often with our poses, we're analysing many different aspects of it. So how it feels in the tissues in your body. How strong does that feel? Does it make you feel that you want to tense up against it? Or are you able to let your body melt into the floor with this? How does this pose make you feel? Just like the sweet as we had tasted it, it started to encourage the body to salivate. So when we're in a pose, what does it conjure up? It can be physical, it can be in your mind. So what thoughts are coming up with this pose? Note of how this side feels as we slowly start to draw out from this pose. We're going to take it straight over into the other side. So you can allow those legs to lengthen the body to pass through the center. We have that eye surrender on the other side. Remember, we're trying to keep that open space through the shoulders, so the elbows trying to stay wide out to the side. So once you have that sense of the arm reaching open to the side, then it's trying to break that wing. It's rolling the body to allow yourself to come up one shoulder on top of the other, wherever it can get to, and whether it feels more supportive for those legs to be stacked on top, or does it feel like you need length, whether in that top or that bottom leg. Find that, again, that level of stretch, that level of challenge in the shoulder. And maybe already you're noticing that difference from one side to the other. And what judgments did you have, even as we were changing from one side to the other? Maybe you knew this was going to be your tighter side. Oh, this was going to be the easier one. How did you settle in? It's conjuring up physically, tastes, textures. Exactly. Maybe this is a more comfortable position for you, or maybe this is more challenging for you. But as we're still opening up the heart chakra, that sense of that open space, from collarbones to the chest bone, to the belly button. I want you to notice that voice that's inside you. How is it talking to you? Is it a soft voice? Is it a loud voice? Positive tones in the language that you use to yourself. It doesn't have negative tones. Say, open up the heart. Opening up that positive mindset. Those good things are coming. And it also open up that love for yourself. Hear that in the voice that you speak to yourself with. into your rebounding hand. You can choose, is it on your tummy, is it on your back, whatever position, or if you feel like you need a counter pose, whatever feels good in your body. That review of how your body now feels. And with what that experience was like on that second side compared to the first. Rest. Does it feel different? Have these poses changed the narrative that your body feels, what it's experiencing? Slowly, we're going to make that transition again into your comfortable seat. Just taking your time as we set ourselves up for a seated swan. So again, not making that prejudgment. This is going to be for open hips. So it's your pigeon. But it's knowing that, again, that conjures up that preconceived idea of what this should be, and it's trying to mold it into what feels more appropriate in your own body. So you have a number of variations that you can draw in. So if we start with the right leg, if you feel like your hips don't go into full pigeon, we can take it from that grounded position. So knee kind of flushed at the front of the mat, bone on the foot, and then that back leg can vary. So wherever we go to, we want to prop up with bolsters and supports so that you can lie and rest. If that feels like no, I'm able to go past that, then your angle of the leg, you have to play with the ceiling. What level of rotation, and then what level of depth as I reach the leg behind me. So with this may be a bolster coming down so it supports under the tummy and underneath the body, so that you're not holding. I want you to feel like you're able to relax down. That might be if the bolster is too deep, then maybe it's underneath. So it's finding that position. So allowing as much of an angle as you feel that you go. Your leg will probably spring back in wherever you set to what it feels like it can do. Then allowing the back leg to stretch as far behind you as you feel that you can tolerate. Let's do this bit. Okay. So it's more, yes, with angle. Yeah, so it's reaching out. So it's using whatever supports that you need again, so you're finding that edge of the stretch. How deep does it need to go, and what position is going to feel like you can be here for a period of time? A little while, so let's get comfortable. knowing that there are little tweaks and changes that you can make to this position. So do I need more length in my back leg? Do I need more of a sense of pulling the front hip into the socket? And then settling into that space. Do my hips need to be a little bit more to the right or to the left? That is where I can be heavy sinking into the mat, into my supports. I feel like you would like a little bit more support. You can place something onto your back. Try it. In knowing or search for stillness wherever you are. But if you need to modify, is your number of that challenge in that pose? Is it too much to bear? Or is that mind over matter? Is it not enough? And you need more depth? And if you're choosing to lay that challenge down for the body, the communication coming from your body can be quite loud. And again, it's reflecting on the level of that voice, the tone of that voice inside you. How is it feeding back to you? Is there discussion that needs to go on to almost pacify that voice has become louder? That voice is speaking to you. How do you listen to that voice? What it communicates. People need to be still on the outside as well as on the inside. slowly start to transition straight into your second side. So if you do have anything on that, you can just let it go. Just take your time. If you feel like you need a little movement in between, maybe it's a cat, just to allow a little bit of movement, just to draw into the hips, but take your time. When you're ready to set up on that second side, try not to go in with that judgment of how this is going to feel on this side, especially if you know it's your higher side. Listening intently, picking up on the detail. Angle, does that knee and that foot need to be at? Bring that stretch into the target area in that hip. How long does that back leg need to be? That sense of that bent leg, does it feel like it's in the hip socket and drawing back in towards you? The hips need to be a little bit to the left or to the right. You need to be settling. You need an extra support. With our focus still being on opening up the heart chakra. That sense of that openness coming up from the open hip, up through belly button, up through the chest, through the side body. How are the textures, the feelings presenting on this side? Over time. language is used. That language supporting me is pose. Focus on positive. Things are starting to draw the body back out into your body. Finding whatever supports or poses if you feel that you need them. Remembering that again, these poses, the longer we're in them, you may feel better about them. You probably know. But take your time, you're listening. Does it feel like the muscles feel stiff? Does it feel like the joints feel stiff? Just give it time to let it settle and find. Allow yourselves to, find whatever supports you need. Let the body melt into the floor. Explore the sensations that follow. Body sound. How does that space feel between the collarbones, the chest bone, the belly button? Does it feel like there's a space opening within the heart center? Slowly up. We're going to bring you into your next pose, which is dragonfly. And with the dragonfly, yes, there's going to be a sense of an inner eye perspective, and this is where you can add a different level of challenge. So it's finding that whatever space, if you know that you want to go wide and challenge those, you could be sideways on your mat. So whatever width, but then we're going to add in a side bend. So from that perspective, you may need supports to help stop you from trying to collapse in even more. But it's to keep this sense that it is a side bend. Whether it's totally open leg, whether it's a little bit forward, you can play with this to find the position that is most useful. But if it feels like your lower back is just rounding, then maybe using, if you have the pillow or whether you want to be seated up on a block, so that it tips your pelvis to come into that anterior tilt, because that's going to find a little bit more length through your back to be able to allow a bit more of a side bend. So it's maybe draping the arm on the head, maybe it's using, again, the bolster might come underneath the head and you might drape over and around. So it's finding, again, what supports do you need? The target area on this is the side body as well as a little bit into the back, and potentially those inner thighs as well, depending how far you want to go. But again, it's challenging your body to get to its 7, if that's where you want to go tonight. You might need a number of things stacked up that might begin with it. That's between the legs and to draw the head in, and the arm best input. If you need any other props, essentially, let me know. If you feel like there's something else you need, it just helps to draw in a bit of support. And this is where that other leg, if it feels like it wants to come with you, you can always pop a bolster on top of it. This can help keep the leg in place. Yeah.
Touch your ribs.
You then look at all the way that side body there. It is one of the things that it can drink over, so whether it is one of those things that paradigm with this, it's not going to be a computer flop over unless you're able to get over to that angle. So it might be that, yes, whether it's clasping fingers and then maybe a practice helps support that. Your body feels like it settles into this pose. You may feel that you're able to drop a little bit more over that leg. Make it feel easier than that arm support. And we feel it in that target area, down through the side body, through the back. Maybe into those inner thighs. That heart space is within us and it's all around us. Opening up the side body, opens up that side of the heart space. Knee support, maybe overhead. You can allow them either to slide off the body or take a hold, feel like it might land somewhere on you. But we're going to take you straight in to that other side. So just almost kind of reviewing how those legs are feeling. Do you need to go wider or slightly less? Do you need to take a bit of a break out within that? Do you need to have the weight on that other leg to help keep it rounded? So it's exploring again how this side feels when you naturally drift over. Do you need an earlier support? Do you need to have again that sense of a little bit more weight up above on the body? You find everything that you need to be able to be supported. Exploring into the feedback that your body is transmitting. Experience that the body is having on this side, the textures, the tastes. The language your mind is using. Ease and that stillness within the pose. Your body lets go and delves a little deeper, and it feels a good place to be. And let it go. magically so. If you shine approval on someone, they flower. It's science, kind of magically so. If you consistently tell someone they are wonderfully unique, they will believe it, and consequently, the world will believe it too. For that person will go forth, displaying their uniqueness as the gift it truly is. So stop telling the world all that you're not, and start showing them all that you are. Expect they will see the wonderful parts of you, because they will if you do. Celebrate your differences, my friend, and make them even more beautiful. With the power of your acceptance, even better. Your approval. It's science. Magically so. Get check of that one. So again, as these poses are getting a bit deeper, and just give your body that time. So we'll transition again into your Shavasana, that rest pose for this rebind. So whatever position that feels comfortable to be in, you can allow yourself just that little bit of space in your body. Cheers. This is what needed to be the alcoholic version. Those poses we delved into were like 4 minutes on each side. So those legs will have had an 8-minute stretch. It's a long, long stretch. Now exploring again the aftertaste that comes out from that. That inside line of the body that feeds up through the pelvis, through the belly button, towards your heart center. You feel open. Listening to that body, the sensations that it gives you, and the wording that comes with it from inside. Positivity. Wherever the body is, where the mind is right now. You completed some challenging poses. Thankful and grateful that the body can do what it can. So, and start to draw you into the next pose, and you can almost stay where you are this next one. We're going to come into banana asana. Yes, you are going to be a banana. So with this one, the usual supports that we need for this might be a bolster of the legs, and we may end up having a bolster or sandbag at the shoulder. But if you bring your body over to the right side of your mat, and as you bring everything over to the right side edge, if you then let your feet drift over to the left. And I want you to keep your hips flat on the ground. Yeah, so when you bring yourself down, so lying on the back, so your body's on the right and your feet are to the left. You're going to place your right foot on top of the left. Make sure I've got the next match right there. So you'll be lying onto your back. Hold the feet flat onto your back. And then so we can come right down. And then bring them right up. So this is where with the legs in that position that you may need a bolster just to help secure them so they don't feel like they're going to pop open. Now with the upper body here, then we're aiming to allow the shoulders to creep over also towards that side. So you just have to fully so you want to try to keep that position grounded with the pelvis. So this is literally a deep side bend. With the legs on top of one another. And then the upper body is also drifting into a side bend over to the left. And this is where in terms of shoulders, that if your arms feel like they want to go all the way back up there, but they're kind of flailing in the air, then you can have a block or a pillow or a blanket underneath. But maybe we need a sandbag on there. And I will kind of put as a caution on this one that it will feel quite strong through the shoulders and it wouldn't be uncommon to get into needles. You can let it pop off at any point if you need to. So with this, our target area is down the side bottom. So we're opening up that right side. My bottom. Notice that this is very much, it is an opener on the chest. It's an opener on the side bottom. It's an opener on the side ribs, the waist, the outer hip. And I want you to recognize that one side is lengthening, while the other side is shortening. Sometimes with this pose, it can feel like your hips want to arch off the floor, your lower back might want to arch. I want you to get a sense that you maybe can feel heavy through the hips and the back. Sometimes with this pose, but it does feel like it's coming into your back a little bit more. Sometimes just having that weight across the hips. body to find that depth into the mat below. Feel that elongation through your side. Feel that opening and that lengthening. Notice how the muscles speak. How do the joints speak? Longer that we are in this position for. Noticing the changes that can happen. Our poses target a more concise area. Because this is almost the full length, that outer line of the body. So over time, sensations will change. Voice that's inside, again, how is it communicating? Is it finding that ease, or is it being tested? Requiring a two-way conversation inside. Find a way to settle. Sensations. What it can conjure up inside. And curiousness about that voice that talks to you. And how it talks to you. in your own language for this experience, how it can also relate to other parts of our lives. You know, a challenge. Can we find our own positive language to that positive self? This one. Anything that's at the shoulders, you want to allow that to brush off and almost take this in stages of maybe releasing the bolster of the hips and aligning the upper body back into that straight line with the hips. Then maybe it's allowing the legs to kind of kicking off that bolster. And for this one, we're going to take a rebound. This one I think in particular can make you feel like you've aged to about twice your age. So it's finding your rebound pose from here. So do you need a counter pose of drawing the knees in? Do you feel like, no, I just want to let everything settle? Depending on where you have felt more of the length, or have you felt that you need that rounding in the lower back? What does your body need? And again, that idea that the aftertaste after a pose can be very different the deeper the poses get. Sometimes even that aftertaste can be stronger than the actual taste of the pose itself. I think that's support the level. Let's start to set you up on that second side. So this time the body is going to be on the left side of your mat. And as we get that wiggle over to the left. And the feet are going to slide over to the right. The left leg is going to come up on top of the right. And then from there, you need that bolster of support on the legs to help hold them in place. And as the legs are secured, we then allow the upper body to drift over into that right side so that we hopefully find that position for the upper body in the sense of opening through that chest line. Feel supported, not having to work or to strive within this position. Noticing that one side is lengthening and one side shortening. And keep that awareness into that heavy lower back. Experiencing that lengthening through the muscles, up through that left side. Lengthening the joints. And again, the longer we're in these poses, the more it opens up into these fascial lines in the body. The longer we're here, the more the sensation changes from muscles to tendons to fascial tissue. Within that we have nerves. Again, that's sometimes that sensation of that pins and needles, and it comes in. If you can be with it, you can stay there. If it feels uncomfortable, you can draw back a little. All these sensations, just information. Your sense of how the body responds. And based on how your body responds, that communication inside. Mentally, does it feel like your body, your mind, how the whole of you is responding? Find that positive narrative, that positive purpose from these poses. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance. Chaos to order. Confusion to clarity. stranger to a friend. Gratitude makes sense for past. Brings peace. Vision for tomorrow. You could realign the arms to draw down first. Just in the upper body back into the center. Line the weight on the hips to release. I think the body is willing to let you go. You need that counter pose. Space. Curious about information that's coming from your body. You start to draw me up into seated. We're gonna come into our half self. So this might be a challenge. Or we might have to again modify the number of supports. So in terms of the position, so that reminder of where this goes. So if we were starting with the right leg, my knee is in front of my hip. And from here, my foot can either be out to the side or it can be tucked under. And as we're drawing into this one, if I feel like as I start to go back, if that feels like I'm off and I can't get myself into that lengthened position, then I need to have like a start support behind me so I'm not going to go any lower. But if I feel like I'm able to come down whether it's pillows or supports, I might need something again to weight me down here. I might need something to weight down the thigh. And it's optional whether the arms are down or to the side or overhead. But again, it's finding the level that of hip opener that you feel that you're going to be able to draw into this. And then with this one, your lower back wants to arch. So sometimes that support just across the front of the hips can be appreciated. As you draw in, if the knees coming up, imagine you're sneaking the foot back towards you a little bit more so that it's like there's a length projecting out from your knee. Yeah, actually, everyone has to speak. So it feels like it's very going with this one. But this one is a grower. It's definitely a strong position. So depending on the level that you have set yourself up in to start with, as the body relaxes into this, it will tap into opening the front of the thigh a little bit more. But know that you can adjust if you need to. But that conversation with yourself. Is this a challenge that you can be with? What's going to be inside of this one? Is it an overreaction, or can you appease it? Can you settle it? Sensations are transient. This is for a short time. grateful that the body is able to find its way into this challenge and to be with it. With this one, we're going to take you straight into your second side, but allow yourself that opening. So whether you roll away from that leg to let it stretch out, if you feel like you need to round the back of the knees, if you feel like you just want to take a pause before gathering yourself for that second side. Knowing that if this other side is higher, that your how behind you might need to be higher, or maybe it needs to be lower. Looking as you almost get a sense of aligning the knee with the hip. The foot draws up behind you. Is it a flat foot or is it out to the side? As we draw ourselves in, is it finding a support on the thigh? Is it finding a support across the belly? To help ground the lower back so that we're not coming into that shortening of the lower back. Bring that reflection on the first side. Because I want to tame the experience on this side. Curious about the information that the side is giving. Process it for what it is. Find a way of infusing the mind if this is a louder voice inside. Opening up the area front of the body, opening the hips, the belly, the ribs, the chest, opening into your heart center. Feeling that gratitude for what is able to do for you. Joy does not arrive with fanfare. On a red carpet strewn with flowers of a perfect life. Joy sneaks in as you pour a cup of coffee, watching the sun hit your favorite tree just right. You usher joy away because you're not ready for her. Your house is not as it should be for such a distinguished guest. Joy, you see, cares nothing for your messy home, or your bank balance, or your waistline. Joy is supposed to slither through the cracks of your imperfect life. That's how joy works. Not truly invite her. You can only be ready when she appears. You can hug her with meaning. Because in this very moment, joy chose you. Pull yourself into Shavasana. In your resting pose. If you need a counter pose before you get up, then you can take that. 1:26. I'm going to take a few moments here, but I'm going to give you the option if you would like to take that final Shavasana in a hammock, or if you'd rather just be on the mat. Max it Imagine you're filming a hammock. Yourself. Experience aftertaste coming out from our self. Exploring those sensations as you find that final release. The space on the front of the body feels to you. Feel more open. Wide chest. The same if it feels like there's a different energy running through your body. That sense of a positive, glowing energy being breathed in, sending that breath towards that heart space that's all inside, all around you, within you. Letting it draw away any impurities, any imperfections. Letting go on the out breath. Each in-breath that draws in, that's that shining white light, getting brighter with the fullness of the breath. Shining stronger through that heart space. Coming into a soft glow with each out breath and shine bright with each in breath. Light that shines with the heart. Each in breath is getting brighter and it's shining and lighting up the whole inside. Fading into a soft glow on that out breath. It's so bright that on that next in breath, the light is shining outside of the body. It's permeating through the cells. And then as we breathe out, allowing that heart space to shine even brighter, almost projecting and filling up the whole space inside the room. And into that soft glow inside our breath. To that energy, that openness. That's going with you. And drawing yourselves up into, maybe it's a hug of the knees, or maybe it's into side line, knees drawn to watch. Just taking your time. No rush to come up, to keep in that slow pace. Whenever you're moving, slowly drawing up into your comfortable seat. Drawing your hands onto your heart center. Hopefully that acknowledgement of that self-love, that gratitude, and that sense of joy. That's it.
Stunning. Again. Oh,
Feel good with that. I knew they were getting stronger. So,
right, we'll see what it'll feel like tomorrow, but at the minute, that is nice. Lovely.
you never know what's going to follow. And like anything to do with the heart and opening is trying to create an energy. So everyone's different. It might feel calming, or it might feel like I always remember Sonia after one of the sessions. She says, I went home and cleaned the whole house.
No think of it.
So he was just buzzing after one of the sessions, and it's like, okay. So thank you for everyone.
Thank you.
It's happening.